That's why it's important not to rush. I was rushing to get on here with you guys because I was late again. I got up a little late and, so on and so forth. So, that, um, yeah. Because of that, guys, I started the wrong stream up. I'm going to get the right one going. And yeah, I can feel it in the air. Can't tell me nothing. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in your voice. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in the air. In your ear. Feel it in the air. I feel it in your voice. I feel it in the air. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in your voice. I can feel it in the air. Sister in the building. I can feel it in your voice. I can feel it in the air. Good morning, brother. How you doing? Yeah, I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in your voice. I can feel it in the air. I can feel it in the air. Awesome, awesome. I can feel it in the air. So sis said that it's not playing well. So let me stop screen sharing for a minute. I got to get this together with this new computer, guys. Y'all know I'm just trying to get things right. It was horrible before. At least we're doing a little better now. At least on my end, anyway. What's going on, family? What's going on, family? I am giving the grand risings to everybody. I wanted to actually get up here and talk about quite a few things, some important things that I think we should know about ourselves. Obviously, we always talking about the things that are, that are best for us, and when it comes to our physical components, the way we should be moving, and the way we should be on a certain frequency, our balance in our bodies, and things of that nature. A lot of this is because we're trying to find ourselves from the powers that used to be, all the things that we had within that our ancestors portrayed, everything that's been taken from us, like so many other things, um, just kind of takes us back to, I want to make sure I'm getting to right, so that, we're able to get to this information, and, just talk about things that are familiar to us. We've grown up knowing about heroes and, certain things, but I think it's important for us to understand the elements of some of these heroes, right? And when we think about some of the elements of these heroes, a lot of them had these powers that are existing within us. We're going to talk about like telekinesis, telepathy, certain strengths that a person has, like sometimes when that adrenaline, as they say, gets to pumping, you can get extreme superhero type strength. The unveiling of the eyes, which reveals a lot of different things, and portals opening for electromagnetism within your body, coinciding with the atmosphere. We see this a lot in superheroes. So I just think we need to try to figure out what exactly we may even be able to tap into and don't know that is actually um, what will help us to maybe reach depths of things that can, help us, things that can help us to, reach into ourselves and find different things and, so on and so forth. Because what I'm finding is that a lot of times we're not really getting the magnitude of the strengths that we have, the powers that we have. We've been minimized so much. Great day, Blue. What's going on with you, brother? We've been minimized so much in our mind and the capacity not to even understand that not only in our physical capacity, but in our mental capacity, our strength, in our spirit capacity, in our strength, in our ability to even think. So everything's being compromised, at this point in time. So we have to make sure that we can figure out the things that I guess coincide with us. So let's get into it real quick, guys, because I have maybe about an hour. So. And as usual, I'm having some sinus problems. The humidity here is disgustingly horrible, guys. So you got to excuse the way I sound. I hope you guys hear me clearly, so on and so forth. I'm so busy trying to adjust this. I didn't even make my water something. I'm definitely going to need in a minute, but I'm going to get started at least for that. We're going to talk about some of the superheroes, like Superman, Wonder Woman. I don't know if I'll cover everybody, but I'm going to mention someone that you can think about and you can remember their powers. Superman, Wonder Woman, Thor, Spider-Man, Captain America. They some of the biggest names. And if you think about them, we may not get into this today, but something else we'll talk about is the red and the blue. Them using the red and blue colors. If you think of Superman, Wonder Woman, Thor, Spider-Man, Captain America, I don't know if Thor, I can't remember the colors for Thor. I know all of the other ones have the red, the blue, some the red, white, and blue. And primary, the red and blue color. The red means they are bold. It means they're bold. They're very passionate. They're very determined, but they're grounded. That's what the red stands for. So when we're thinking about that being grounded, what is that? What is that putting you in the instinct to know? We're talking about electricity, right? So blue. So these are the colors. Thinking about the association of this with the color, giving it a certain demeanor, so on and so forth. So that red and blue, the colors that they wear, which they represent, being that the hero strength that they have. Red meaning bold and passionate and determined and grounded. So we're talking about the electricity and what's inside, right? And the blues is the depth, You think about blue, like they'll say, "Oh, the deep blue sea, the sky, the blue sky." You know, it's always like the depth of something, which is the intensity, so on and so forth, just to have the clarity. So when you think about the blue, it puts a person in the mind of the depth of wisdom and the confidence of something. So when it's the depth of wisdom and confidence of something, that blue is, in the state of that. So I'm going to talk about the Green Lantern. No, no, do I want to talk about the? No, I'm not going to talk about the Green Lantern. Let's talk about the Flash. The Flash, the strength. The Flash can move, think, and react at light speeds. We've talked about this. I know this is familiar to you guys because we've had this conversation, as well as having superhuman endurance that allows him to run at incredible distances. That sounds like some of our great athletes today, the indigenous athletes especially, right? Um, some later versions they had, they were like vibrating, like if you can remember the something about the quantum with the flash uh, creature. This is a newer entity from the WB or what have you. So when you think about that, it was something more on the later versions of the vibration. So we're thinking about the reaction of light speeds, the able to move and think really quickly in that manner, the speed of light and that energy, and passing through the walls in a process called the quantum tunneling. I tapped into this and we talked a little bit about shapeshifting, manipulating matter, things of that nature. So think of that when you come in. So that's quantum tunneling. You guys can actually look that up. If it's something that you're interested in, getting a little more information about, you'll definitely be able to get that information, right? Peace and love, sis. Peace and love. Peace and love. Solomon, Truth Over Lies. Grand day to you, beautiful sisters, today. Hope y'all having a good one. Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So when we're thinking about the quantum tunneling, right, that's traveling through time and can also lend and borrow speed. So if you're traveling through time, you can take the speed or you can leave or lend the speed to that particular place that you travel to. So that's a part of the quantum tunneling, right? So if a person is very speedy, they can also heal more rapidly, during this process because it's obviously molecules. You know how you see in the movies, they'll be like, say they'll get a cut and then they have something that just immediately heals the cut. That's a manipulation of matter as well, quantum tunneling. So they can heal more rapidly because of this. If you notice a lot of superheroes, some of them, they just have this strength to be able to heal. That's because they're able to manipulate matter, and doing that, they can heal the, whatever's going on. So with the average human, in addition, most incarnations, people have an invisible aura around them. That's the perspective of the body that protects them from air friction and the kinetic effects of the power. So the kinetic effect and the powers that we have, right, is affected by the physical body and the aura because of that particular connection, because the aura is that invisible protective field we talk about when it comes to the crystals. You're getting the Taurus field, you're getting the aura around your body. That's that energy, the protective electromagnetic field, right, that these superheroes possess. Something that we have naturally within us, those particular powers, right? So when we're thinking about that, the perspective of the body, what the body is doing, the physical matter is protecting yourself, your inner self. The physical is protecting the spiritual being from air friction. This is something else you can look up to get a little more information about. Look up air friction. Quantum tunneling and air friction are two things, you guys can look up. As I told you, sometimes I talk about things that I think are important. If I talk to you about it, if you're able to recall, I might have something for you. And the kinetic effects of their power. So when the air is being affected, by the powers within. So the physical body is also a shield that's protecting that power. So it's also harnessing that power, holding down that power. And get a gist of that, right? What about how they sister? What about how they show Wolverine as a speedy healer, but he doesn't have speed? Exactly, but that's because he's a special being and he has molecular structure that is totally different. So this is what I was saying. It's all about um, quantum manipulation, manipulation of molecules. This is how people are able. When you hear people talking about shapeshifters and things of that, that's all it is. It's just the manipulation of matter. The being able to take that light energy and form the matter in different ways. Basically, is the best way to put it. Okay. When it comes to that, um, as a chieftain, right? Let's talk about the Black Panther. So we're going to talk about the kinetic powers. Y'all know I always tell you about the herb. When I say herbal medicine, is like everything, mentally, physically, it can heal like anything, spiritually even. There are spiritual things that are healed by certain herbs, so on and so forth. So this is why I have the AK Randall's Natural Nature Business. This is what I am about. The thing of health and making sure you're doing the right things when it comes to your health is very important as well. Tapping into the right energies and strength because you have to be at a certain balance when it comes to your electromagnetic sphere. When it comes to your cellular structure and the crystallization and the formulation of the natural organic cell and the interruption from certain things, all these things. So all these things making a difference in the way that a person is able to use these abilities. Let's say that, right? So me, I consider myself a chieftain, just like the Black Panther. The Black Panther is entitled to consume a special heart-shaped herb, which is it was in addition to the mystical shamanistic connection. So when you think about the shaman being very high, connectedly spiritually and things of that nature, with the Wakandan panther god Bast, and it grants him this superhumanly acute senses, enhanced strength, speed, agility, stamina. That you guys look for, the durability, healing, and reflexes. Why he was able to heal himself. If you guys saw that Black Panther movie, all that was that flower. If you remember that flower, we're going to talk about that at another time. I'm actually going to bring it up during one of my herbal sessions. The lotus flower has a lot of healing effects. Has some other effects too. We'll get into that. I actually do. Provide lotus tea. I do make specifically lotus flower tea. And we'll get into the abilities of that and things of that nature possibly on my next herbal session um, when it comes to that. So that was something that gave him the energy, the particular strength of that power. All different herbs have different things that we talked about many times. There's so many different herbs, so many different things. Executive sessions in the building. What's going on, bro? Peace and love to you. Great day, great light, great energy, and all that. You know it. So when it comes to that, right? And we're thinking about like possibilities of everything that um, we possess within us, and everything that is possessed in this earthen realm that is connected to nature, the ions, the negative and positive, the minerals, and things that we absorb and pull into our body to actually give us that strength, that energy burst, that proper balance in the electric and the magnetism within our body. Seeing that we're electric beings that have copper and these things within us, the crystallization of the cellular structure in certain areas like the lungs and within the mind where the crystals happens is all due to a certain compound. And with happen that if it's thrown off by certain chemicals, something's not right, you're taking all these certain things in, it's gonna mess you up, period, right? um, Captain America, all these different heroes, Superman, all these, these are kind of the same ones, right? When we think about it, having like some of them, a mixture of certain things, genius level intellect. This is us. You know how they always say, "Oh, we're three-fifths human." This, and that. That's a lot. We 5/3 human, if anything, because we are over the human. We are actually a level up when it comes to the intellect. So this is something that helps to keep us minimized in our mind and not be able to tap into these strength is, the spellbinding and the manipulation of, what we are, where we come from, our powers, our strength, not being a strong people, which we all know it's a lot, right? If we weren't a strong people, we wouldn't even be getting through the day-to-day basis and the battles that we have with the slings and all the things that we go through, right? We are very strong people. No one's stronger. So when we're thinking about the genius level intellect, proficient like scientists, engineers, things of that nature. That's genius level. They use armored suits, like the Captain America. He had that round, looked like a portal. It was his shield, and he used that. So when they have like these armored suits on and things of that nature, that's showing or representing pretending to have that superhuman strength. When we think about that, that's the superhuman strength when it comes to that, all that speed, the durability, agility, reflexes, the senses, all these things, telepathic, supersonic flight, telepathic energy, time traveling, space traveling, things of this nature. Energy, repulsors, missiles, protecting the regenerative life support of the person or the inner being. That's like the flight energy, repulsory. These are the type of things that they show in these superheroes. As it says, Dr. Oyibo also teaches we are 5/3 of a person's. Let's talk about it, bro. It's confirmation right there. I just said that. I literally just said that. I think before you came in, bro, I was saying that. They have it backwards because like everything else, like the math, like don't let me get into all this other shit. Yeah, they have everything backwards. They want us to believe the lies and the falsities and all that stuff. But we know better. If we don't know better, I'm gonna make sure I'm telling somebody so I can remind y'all because it's in y'all. Y'all already know this stuff because it's within you. You just have to pull it out and recognize it. Primary mutant power is an accelerated healing process, typically referred to as his mutant healing factor. Says so. So when you were asking about particularly. I want to get back to that. I just didn't want to get off subject. Truth over life, babe. Remember, you're asking about Wolverine, right? You said, what about Wolverine? They show how he is speedy healer, but he doesn't have the particular strength, right? So when it comes to that with Wolverine, what they show him, him having super strength. The character was kind of depicted as having the ability to move large vehicles, including cars, trains, ships, right? So we're thinking about super strength. Super strength enables a person to tap into other telepathic abilities. That would be super speed. So super speed would mean he could heal things faster. If he was like a person with all the strength, that means he has the abilities on the inside to have the super strength or the strength to heal. You know how it takes a certain amount of time for things to heal. With that strength, because of his molecular compound, he'd be able to induce healing, that way. Super speed, having like that real fast speed, like I said, how our athletes are known to that. They said Superman could run faster than an express train. So what was that telling you? They're talking about us, that superhuman speed, the agility, just having the natural ability to move with the frequency of light speed because it's inside of you, because you are made of that light speed photonic energy that's inside of you, right? So it's like what was another one? Oh, the enhanced leaping. They had that ability to just jump and leap from buildings and this and that. The enhanced leaping, they could leap over like an eighth of a mile or over a tall building. He leaps over tall buildings. This and that. That's enhanced leaping. Those skills would be the power and the strength and the force behind that pressure and like boom, I'm just jumping up. You just do a quick jump. If you have that extra agility and speed, and that would help with the enhancement of that leaping tall building, so on and so forth. That has to do with the magnetism, being able to manipulate the matter of air, right? And the speed of light through that. Having that durability, like someone hit the train, he held his hand out, boom, it stopped. That's that super durability. Dang. That Superman was highly resistant to injuries and all that. So however he was not so invulnerable as like in the modern depictions, they make it a little different. Although his immune system, you know, um, was like conventional to like a weapon, like an atomic weapon or atomic bomb. That's us. Our immune system, we have the black energy, all of that. That's in our spine, this, and that. So it's like he had that within him, but he really didn't. We know that because he was melanated. Heavy artillery could like injure and possibly kill him, but he had the ability to kind of break through him out of that, right? Then when it came to that, there was like the super senses. We talk about the telepathy and all that. So Superman had this eyesight and hearing that were far in excess to anybody that was a human. Right? We think about this like really, he could hear, he could see, he could do all this stuff. Superman got his powers from our yellow sun. That's right, because he was from a different galaxy. Whenever the sun turns red, he was a regular, basic human being. Talking about who is that talking about, bro? You already know they talking about us. We get our energy and power from the sun, right? And because the sun is being blocked out and terraforming skies and all these things are going on to block us from the natural sun, some of these abilities are being tuned out of us, and we are able to tap into them now more because that second sun is actually pushing through the environmental breaking through that terraforming, breaking through the ionosphere blocks and things of that nature. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with that. We getting ahead of that right now. We really are. When it comes to that, let's talk about Magneto. Magneto was a metal mountain generator and a manipulator of magnetic fields, and he controlled metals, and he was able to manipulate levitation. Levitation, this is another ability that we have within us when we're tapping into the density of our Christos spirit and energy. We can get to that levitation state because you have to reach it actually by being able to ascend with a certain density when you have bypassed that physical matter and able to tap into separating self from the matter, right? So when it came to Magneto, being that big metal mountain, that's a representation of that. The generator, manipulator of the magnetic field. This is what we do. We control metals, being able to manipulate matter in itself, walking through walls, becoming invisible. All these weird things you hear, but they're really true, right? Um, Thinking about that. So Magneto, he would be able to form. Now think of this. I tell you guys about the electromagnetic field that you are the one that's in control of. You are the one to manipulate the matter and bring that to the surface by creating that Christos energetic energy within yourself. Only you can create with the photonic energy that's in the plasma of your blood. By igniting that, by accelerating, by bringing it up to a higher altitude, what it does, it starts to oscillate, reflect, and it's just it's just moving through the electromagnetism of your body. And then what does it do then? It rises, it increases into a heat density. Once there's a heat density that's created through that plasma, it forces through the brain, and those particles are actually heating up in your mind, and it's the portals are opening for the Christos, the crystals in the mind. Once the crystals or the crystals in your mind are heated to a certain density, they actually burst into a gas form. And the gas form is what that aura is, the Taurus field, the thing that you have around you that's your protective energy. So, right? We went over this so many times. I know people probably hear me repeating things, but I have to repeat it for those that haven't heard it. So if you've heard it before, just, hey, move on with the info. When it comes to that, we're thinking about Magneto. With Magneto, like I said, he generated the manipulation of the magnetic fields. So he was able to control the metal by manipulation and mind manipulation, telepathic. I did a build on the Hopi trial. We went into a lot of this information when it comes to that. So you guys may want to go back and look at that. Talk a little, not a lot, a little bit about that. A lot of the information I know when it confirms things, you can kind of read between the lines, and that's what I want you guys to do. You need to start working your brain. It's an exercise. It's an exercise to see light. It's an exercise to actually gravitate toward the correct magnetic energy and start to disintegrate yourself from the things that aren't pertinent to you or beneficial, right? So Magneto being able to not only manipulate matter and metals, he was able to manipulate levitation. And this is something that we know are done. There are shamans that do this. People can actually literally levitate depending on the ascension of your density of the gas aspect. When you have that protective aura around you, the density of your body and rising to ascension is something that can be done telepathically to actually separate and remove yourself from the physical being and only go into the mind and take over that way with the spirit being able to manipulate what's going on, the situation, controlling it, and stepping away, separating oneself from the physical and going into the spiritual, and knowing how to have the control and balance of that. This is how people are able to levitate, to ascend, to time travel, to do these things. So with that, he used that to create. He would use like metals and things to manipulate the levitation itself, creating like certain force fields. By doing that, with creating the levitation, what it was is creating manipulation of the molecules and the energy around him. So he was manipulating the molecular energy to create the levitation by the molecules, the invisible molecules that we are still all just walking through, breathing in all day. They were actually formed and you just couldn't see it and it would lift him up. This is the telepathic use of the levitation, the mind control, generating, excuse me, I'm gonna have to give a word in a minute, guys. Generating the electromagnetic pulses, from the villain in itself, right? You guys get that? You kind of follow me? Um, yes, bro said, yes, Magneto had control of the law of repelling or magnetism. Yes, exactly, bro. Tell me this ain't us. Tell me y'all don't know this is all us. I mean, it's just like so. Um, I'm gonna play a little. I'm gonna try to play one more time. Y'all know I keep having problems with this YouTube. I'm trying to get it to work. So the only way I could do it is by practicing. So I don't know what be going on, guys. So I'm gonna try one more time because I want to play another song while I grab a drink real quick. Unless somebody wants to jump in real quick with that. I'm at BBC Roy Play Clear. That's my jam. I love that song, Real Talk. So let me see. It was playing a little bit, but let me play a little Huey beat. And you would pay right down, y'all be able to hear it, but because this thing acting stupid, it's annoying me. Sis said you couldn't hear it, it was going in and out. So let's try. Um, We're gonna see what it does, guys. Cause I just want to grab a drink, but I don't want to leave you guys stagnant, just sitting there. We can get it to play this time. So anyway, guys, but let's see. Right. Here. All right, that wasn't too bad. And I don't know how good it was a little better time, guys. Tell me how it went as far as sound and everything. I'm having so many issues with guys. I've been having so many issues with my sound when it comes to this because I've been, excuse me, trying to familiarize myself with um with this new computer. So how was the sound? If it was pretty good, let me know. At least I know a bit about if this is working better. Um, yeah, thanks for allowing me to get a drink, guys. I had to get me some drink, man. I'm telling you. Okay, executive session says Dr. Gabriel. Hold on. Dr. Gabriel Ayibo basically was robbed of the Nobel Peace Prize because he gave his research credit to God being a humble man. Um, Explain exactly what you're talking about. Wow. Awesome, brother. Are you talking about the Gagoop? Sounds still not good. I don't know, guys, what to do. I don't know if it's trying to mess with me because this is like literally a brand new HP. This is a big, huge computer, large, extreme gigabyte. It was. I tried it with the Firefox. It wasn't working. So sis said do Chrome. You know, maybe that was the issue. I'm doing Chrome now, so I don't know what it is. The sound is like awesome over here. Everything sounds good. It's peeing me off, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop doing videos, I guess, or I gotta do music sometime when I'm doing my show. But as far as the radio, it always sounds fine because it's not playing through the same system. So maybe something with StreamYard and me, I don't even know. I could care less. But anyway, let's get back to our subject. Try to get my little drink and yeah, I sound clear, but it's the music. So yeah, it's got to be something with the connection with that or whatever. The smart back. Oh yeah, that you're exactly Dr. Gabriel Yugo. Yes, yes, yes. He talked about the Gagoop theory. I love the Gagoop theory. I brought it up to Brother Sanchez. He's like, "Oh, that discredit." I said, "Oh, you such an imbecile and a dummy." I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Oh, that was so wrong. Please forgive me if you do hear this, Brother Sanchez. I didn't even mean to say that. But he just used to get on my nerves. I told when anything I tell him or try to talk to him about. The settings in StreamYard says thanks, babe, for mentioning that. Let me change that now while I'm talking to y'all. So yeah, it may have something to do with the audio that I have on my StreamYard. I don't have the echo cancellation. Real talk. Let me see. Is this better, guys? You guys hear me now? See, says you're gonna get me messed up. Time I'm gonna check the audio. Now it's worse. Is this better now? Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Peace, Big O. What's going on, darling? How you doing, babe? Hope you having an awesome day. Okay, that's better. That's better. That's better. Okay, great, great, great. Let me turn it down. Now it seems extra loud. I don't know how loud it is to you guys. It's like extra loud. On my end, I had to adjust it a little bit. I don't wanna. Okay, great, great, great. Okay. It's always some type of stupid issue or something that's going on, right? Yeah, we're gonna do a part two of this. I'm gonna cap this off in a few minutes, guys, but I gotta finish this with y'all, right? So, at least a little bit more. What else? Who else could we talk about? The Hulk. He exhibited. Oh, right, when he got angry. So when the Hulk got angry, right? Remember he turned green. He turned to this big old thing. He was busting out the clothes. He just was this big, powerful, explosive energy. That's us. You know how we talk about the Kundalini energy, that black goo in the pit of the spine, right? That energy that they make the atomic bombs off, it actually literally blew up Hiroshima, right? That came from us, right? So that was that ability that it is exploring. That's what I seen, and it exhibits his like classic symptoms of like an explosive disorder with underlying antisocial personality disorder. He get upset and he's like, oh, I can't control myself. You know how they'll say, y'all don't know how to control yourself. You get all angry. Calm down, calm down. Some so it's told to me. Somebody's like, calm down. I'm like, shut the F up. Like, they slap you. Now you can say calm down. But yeah, it's like really, that's so annoying. Somebody acts like calm down because they're like, oh, they're getting aggressive. Ugh. No, it's just explosive energy. When a person is like really emotionally charged about something, and their energy is just boiling, that's that photon like energy. You can't control that. It's a part of who we are, right? So that's what's going on. So that was what that was showing with him. You know, uh, being a little erratic. Being able to being just explosive in energy, so on and so forth. Um, Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner. I'm trying to remember. Bruce Banner had like that genius level instinct when it came to the intellectual. So that was like the superhuman. So that's us, that 5/3 human, not the 3/5, but the 5/3 superhuman. The superhuman strength and the vulnerability and the anger, the empowerment that the Hulk possessed. Like the physical component of the genius intellect when we're thinking about that. So on that sense of it, when he was just Bruce Banner, I think I'm saying the right names. I mix them up sometimes, guys, but I believe it was Bruce Banner. Anybody know if it was Bruce Banner? I don't want to be saying the wrong person, and that's why they teach when they get angry because they got that fire. Yep, yep. And you ain't lying. He showed that's me too, sis. She said he always warned her before he go off. And I be sis. I be like, they do with me. If they don't leave me alone, I be like, come on, chill out. Let's get off that. They keep going. Next thing you know, I done blew up. I don't do it now, but I used to let people do that to me because it's like, come on, I'm telling you, shut the F up right now, for real, for real. If we was in, physical, like we probably be fighting or something sometimes because people be doing too much. Because I'm gonna tell you about yourself, and I don't pipe down. I say exactly what's on my mind, the way I want to say it, how I say it. If you don't like it, or well, I'm not gonna be really rude about it. I say things very pleasantly. I make sure I come across not to be rude. So if a person take it the wrong way, shit, you wanted to take it that way, shit. I don't feel no way. That's your bad, you know. So when it comes to that, yeah. So he had that Bruce Banner. Nobody said. Let me see. Nobody knows if it was Bruce Banner. I'm almost sure that it was Bruce Banner. Anyway, Bruce Banner is the human side of the Hulk. So he had that superhuman strength and vulnerability when it came to his anger. It empowered him. His anger empowered him. He didn't empower the anger, harness it, be able to use it for what he needed. Regeneration of like longevity and resistance, things of that. Having like mind control, these things he didn't have. So that's kind of you know, um, how can I say? That's kind of us, you know, how they try to place strongholds on us with the waveforming and the formatting and presenting simulations to us so that we are able to be under a certain generational level of resistance, not having the empowerment, that anger that empowered him to actually reach that level, letting him even see like astral forms. We're able to have that ability. I see him now. I see orbs all the time. I've taken pictures of them for you guys because I've seen them. So he was able to see like astral forms, able to leap long distances, traveling far. Same thing. Remember, we talked about that. Same thing as some of the other prior heroes. You know, he has superhuman lung capacity and unlimited stamina. You know, he could like just like blow like knock stuff over. You know, that's the magnetic energy. I talked to you guys about how words are very powerful because words fly. They come from your gut. You're pulling that from the inside. That's where the fire is, and you're protruding. It's protruding out of your mouth, and then once you spew that out of your mouth, those molecules are put into the atmosphere. Once they're put into the atmosphere, they can grow anywhere because molecules are self-replicating. They just continue to grow, 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 grow off each other. So now, if you're putting that out in the atmosphere and you take it where someone's like, "Oh, you know, they took my idea. They stole this from me. This, and that." Well, you put it out there in the atmosphere. Anybody can build on something that is in the atmosphere, right? So that's the same thing when it comes to us putting out or spewing out that molecular energy, molecular compounds from within us, or so on and so forth, right? Before I get out of here, who else can I talk about? Let's talk about Thor. Thor was another one with the superhuman strength. So we know about Thor. We know, you know, with that lightning bolt, we know that's us. I don't even got to really get into that too much. I ain't got to tell y'all that's like literally us. He had the superhuman strength. He had like speed, durability, longevity. Does it sound familiar? It's all of them. You know, they just had different heroes that act like it was different, but they were the same strength, copying or mimicking something that was actual, really, truly a true sense and something that we are able to tap into, and they all have the same thing. So the one thing I remember about Thor, he even had abilities to interdimensional teleporting. If you guys remember that, so he was able to manipulate the electromagnetism, the electricity, and the manipulation of that. This is why he had the what was it? The lightning bolt. He held the lightning bolt because he could manipulate electricity. So manipulating electricity does what? Allow you to time travel, allow you to open portals, allow you to walk through walls. I mean, he could, you know, do anything. He was able to manipulate the weather just like Storm did. You know, same thing, same manipulation. Manipulating the atmosphere, manipulating the elements, manipulating molecular structure, manipulating quantum physics, right? So when we think about that, the teleportation plays a large part of that. This is why I say when you're sleeping, we're able to teleport because why? Demiurge, Aquaman, right? Since they had the fake and we had the real, they already know. They already know trying to fight fire with fire. Shit, not with this real fire that led about to be diminished because of shit that's manipulated. And we can manipulate that easy manipulation. They need two labs. To try to compete with us since they can't keep up with us, right? Shit, they can't keep up with us. So when it comes to that, we think about that. So Thor, and what's her name? Storm and Thor having a lot of the same abilities, and also we think about Storm and Magneto. Um, we think about Thor and Magneto having pretty much the same abilities. The only thing with him, Magneto had the mind control to generate the electromagnetic pulses. So that's how he was able to manipulate it. With Thor, he had the interdimensional teleportation in his mind, and he can also manipulate the electricity and the weather. So he had a way to manipulate matter in two different forms, and using the elements as well with the matter in a way that he could manipulate them because he had a stronger elemental force behind him, right? Um, Catwoman, you know they always talk about the cat. Is it good? Is it evil? I be wondering, you know, when we think about it, what does the cat do? Let's talk about Catwoman real quick. She was a villain that was a sneaky little conniving something. She didn't really have any powers. All she had was superhuman animalistic powers. She could know danger was coming. She could know about if there is something like an attack or things of that nature. She had very good hand to hand combat skills, just like a cat back them in the corner what they say, man, they'll claw you to death. Um, she had speed, precision. She had very good reflexes. Her agility was good as well. Her balance, her flexibility, these are all nature, animalistic natures from the cat, right? Now, we have these things, right? We have very great balance and flexibility. We have agility. We have strength. We have speed. We have precision. This cat similar to some of our telepathic abilities. Yes, this is why people, the Egyptians per se, had the cat they used to use. Because of the different strength that they admired in this cat. The things that they saw were, connected spiritually. So this is why they honored this cat so much, right? The Avengers was all AI. The Vision is a fictional superhero that appear in like in the American comic books. All of the Marvel comics, all of them, kind of have the same thing. The Vision was created from a copy of the original Human Torch. A synthetic man was created by what is it, Prometheus T. Horton. So they create this synthetic man to show anything and everything that is of us, and that was really us, right? Because these things are naturalistic to us. We are what it is. Monaga, great day, babe. Thanks for coming through. Yes, yes, prosperities to you. So into that, right? The last thing I'm going to bring up for this particular segment, because I do want to open up to see if anybody has anything to say before I get out of here. I'm going to actually let me just drop the link as I'm saying the last few things, because I just want to I want to keep this brief because I want you guys to just think about the things I talked about. When we do part two, I'm gonna have a lot more information on this because I'm gonna go a little deeper. I can kind of tease you a little bit, tell you a little bit about. Let's talk about like I go. What should I go into? A little bit into stories. Okay, look, check it out. What about Jack and the Beanstalk? Let's talk about Jack and the Beanstalk. We'll talk about the giant trees that reached heaven. We'll talk about the towers to other dimensions. We're talking about the third thing that was destroyed after the crystal towers in the sun, the first sun, the original sun, by certain beings that came here when we were actually giants, when we ruled everything, when all the trees and everything were reaching the heavens, when you can see every four corner of the earth from one of the trees. And we were tall enough to climb these trees like it was nothing because we were like hundreds of feet tall, like 80 feet tall. Yeah, yeah. The trees were hundreds and thousands of feet tall, and the width were like hundreds of feet wide. I mean, like seriously, this is like factual stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna even get into this the next bill with you guys because I know it's like phenomenal to think of some of this stuff, and you guys think of everything as a fairy tale. You look at these Disney stories, so on and so forth, and you believe that hey, this is kind of what the world's about. When in all actuality, it's not. Yeah. So think about Jack and the Beanstalk. You saw that story how he climbed up, and then when Jack climbed up the beanstalk, he got to the giant. And what happened with the giant? He had all the treasures, all the golden eggs, and this and that, all kinds of food, everything that everybody would need, right? So why would he have to go to the giant up the beanstalk to get any of these treasures to bring home to try to make something for his mom? Why? Because he was one of the small beings and they were minimized to the space that they've minimized us to now. And right now, knowingly or not, when he climbed up that beanstalk, he actually just reached another dimension and reaching the giants, which is the state of us. And this is showing how he went and he took things. He knocked down the beanstalk, tore down the tree. Listen, we're not going to get into that story, but when I tell y'all, it get real, real heavy. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. I'll talk about it a little more on the next bill when it comes to this. I wanted to drop a few jewels. I keep saying I want to talk about the superheroes, so we're going to get more into the superheroes, more into their superpowers, more into showing you how they actually connect to you and what's really going on. And how you can tap into some of your own power. So didn't want to go too long today, guys. I actually it's my birthday weekend. My birthday's Monday. About to step out. I don't do a lot of eating out and things of that nature, but we are actually going to lunch. I'm gonna go get treated to something nice today. Find something decent in Dallas to do and spend a little time with the family. I plan on getting back on here a little later. All possibly depending on how my day goes. I don't know how late it'll be. But I definitely have something I need to do with some sisters today because I was actually leaving it. I was supposed to be leaving at 12:30 for my trip to Atlanta, but I didn't have enough information as far as what was going on with the Trey Ali thing. I did reach out to a couple of people. Some people were still shaky. A couple of people said they were going to get back to me with information. I didn't get it. So I didn't really want to take that trip for no reason. So I'm going to find some other things to do, to enjoy myself. And yeah, pretty much go from there. All right, guys, it has been a powerful build this morning just because I got great energy from you guys participating in the chat. I'm so sorry I started that other live incorrectly rushing as usual. I'm always rushing and still was late, even though I rushed. That's a shame. But yeah, we're gonna definitely do that. So make sure you guys are tuning in. And next week Sunday, oh, I didn't get to play in the video, but next week Sunday, I'm gonna have Miss Sophia Stewart live, guys. Miss Sophia Stewart, she's gonna be live on the main radio. She's actually going to actually take some extended time. She's also going to stay on after the main radio on the YouTube with Sister Soul, and we'll be able to chat a little bit more about some things in depth with the what's going on with the Matrix 4 and all the trickeries and the lies of these people. She talks about some indigenous stuff, and I just think it's going to be a very interesting conversation because me and her have spoken on other things, and when we talked before, we've connected with certain information and thing. So, I really enjoy speaking with her. So I think, I saw Ab TV had played a video that she was on. So it just incited me to call her and request her to do an interview and talk with us and go over some things. I figured you guys would be interested in that. So yeah, I got that set up for you guys next week, Sunday, September 26th. We will have Miss Sophia Stewart, Mother of the Matrix, Third Eye Awakening. Yeah, we'll be able to get some insight from her, and I'll actually open the panel up maybe for the last 45 minutes or so for people to actually come up and speak with her and ask her some questions, anything they were just wondering about, curious about, and just like anything regarding what she went through, the ordeal with Warner Brothers and Disney stealing her movie idea and, trying to pay her off and, all this other stuff that she went through with them. But yeah, we'll be going over that in a long discussion. And yeah, I appreciate and love you guys so much. You already know I'm about to get ready to get up out of here. So I'm already ready to go. I've been ready for about an hour. I'm up early all the time. So whenever my ride come and say, Mommy, let's get it, we are out. So I'm about to enjoy myself, guys. I will enjoy myself, sis. Thanks so much, baby. Appreciate you so much. And yeah, that's it. Possibly I will get with you guys later if my sis go live later and she has a panel. I'll probably jump up there as well. All right, guys, have a good one. Be blessed. Make sure you're going out sharing anything with anybody else if it's possible. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks. Peace.